do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. No. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He wants to hang out with you next week, and I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
Terrence Howard worked on my first film, Get Rich or Die Trying with me. He's a good friend of mine.
This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. Yeah, real life.
Just when it seemed like the Diddy drama couldn't get any crazier, 50 Cent dropped another shocker. He may have actually saved Terrence Howard from falling into Diddy's weird party scene. And now, Terrence is finally speaking up. He's naming names and calling out industry men who were too scared to say no to Diddy. Terrence revealed how some guys gave up their dignity at those wild FO parties, and how he barely escaped, getting caught in it all. Things get even more intense as reports say 50 Cent asked Terrence to be part of his upcoming docuseries, Did He Do It? And the two are now working together to expose the truth. So who are the ones that said yes to Diddy? Some big names are already being mentioned, including popular rappers. But the real question is, does 50 Cent have real proof to back up his claims? And what exactly happened when Diddy allegedly tried to pull Terrence into one of those crazy parties? Let's break it all down.
It's right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
In case you missed it, Terrence Howard recently did a wild interview on the PB podcast, and he didn't hold anything back. He talked about how some big-name celebrities allegedly gave up their values at those famous industry parties. According to Terrence, what happens behind the scenes in Hollywood is way darker than most people think. And now, he's finally ready to speak up.
Do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties.
Terrence went even further, saying this is exactly what happened with many of the celebs who went to Diddy's parties. He claims some of them didn't just show up. They knowingly crossed the line, gave up their values, and got involved in something way bigger than they thought.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
When the host Patrick Bet David mentioned names like Justin Bieber, hinting they might have been involved in Diddy's mess, Terrence agreed. He said, "You can tell some of these people are still dealing with the trauma of whatever went down." His tone made it clear. He believes there's a lot more happening behind the scenes, and some stars are still showing the emotional scars from it.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
But Terrence didn't stop there. He also said that Diddy actually tried to make a move on him. According to Terrence, it began when Diddy reached out, pretending he needed help with acting. which already felt suspicious. Then, Diddy suddenly showed interest in Terrence's music career. That's when Terrence's assistant stepped in and warned him that something seemed off about Diddy's intentions. Terrence said that warning made him take a step back and think twice about the whole situation.
Hey, did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you.
Terrence Howard recently spoke out, saying Diddy wasn't the only powerful producer in Hollywood who tried to make shady moves. He said several producers acted in strange ways, and he even had to threaten some of them for being disrespectful. Terrence explained that real men don't accept certain things, and staying true to his values cost him big roles in Hollywood. He said he refused to bend over, both physically and morally, and wouldn't take roles where he had to kiss another man or play a gay character because it didn't align with his beliefs. As expected, social media exploded after his interview. Most celebrities have stayed quiet about Diddy, acting like they barely knew him, except for a few like 50 Cent and Cat Williams. Terrence is one of the few big names who openly said Diddy tried to make a move on him. Speaking of 50 Cent, he's been vocal about his upcoming Netflix documentary Diddy Do It, in which we'll explore all the drama since Cassie sued Diddy. When asked why he's not afraid to speak out, 50 said it's simple. He never went to Diddy's wild parties. He explained that many stars who are quiet now were actually involved. He added that he's not into that weird stuff and likes to keep it normal. He even posted a clip from Terrence's interview on Instagram, writing, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." But 50 is also turning this controversy into a business move. Sources say he's already asked Terrence to join the documentary and share more of his story. It makes sense. They've supported each other before. 50 once backed Terrence when he claimed Hollywood blacklisted him and scammed him out of millions. Terrence has also said that Hollywood tries to weaken black masculinity. He was labeled difficult just because he refused to wear dresses or play soft roles. He believes strong black men are seen as a threat in the industry, while white men are allowed to look powerful. Terrence also talked about how he was underpaid. He wasn't surprised when Taraji P. Henson said she was paid unfairly. He revealed he made only $12,000 for his lead role in Hustle and Flow, even though it earned over $75 million. He didn't even get royalties from the music, because the songs were credited to DJ, the name of his character, not him. Now, he's thinking of suing Paramount to get the money he's owed. He also got paid just $6,000 for Crash, which won an Oscar. He said he was just trying to survive back then and didn't know how things worked. After hearing all this, 50 offered to help Terrence and even invited him and Taraji to join G-Unit Films, saying he would pay them what they really deserve. He shared more clips of Terrence's interview and told him to call him. Now that Terrence has spoken out against Diddy, it seems he and 50 are teaming up to expose the truth. Fans are praising them, along with Cat Williams and others, for having the courage to say no. But the big question is, who said yes? Terrence claimed a lot of men gave up their man card by letting Diddy take advantage of them. Sources say 50 is serious about exposing them in his documentary. One name that keeps coming up is Jay-Z. He now acts like he wasn't close to Diddy, but that wasn't always true. Diddy once said Jay was like family, and was the first person he called in tough times. Jay even skipped Blue Ivy's recital to perform at Diddy's Bad Boy anniversary show. In a 2023 Carpool Karaoke episode, Diddy said Jay-Z and his mom are the only people allowed to call him Sean. Jay also recorded a tribute video for Diddy's BET Lifetime Achievement Award right before Cassie's lawsuit. There's also a clip of Diddy singing Happy Birthday to a shirtless, oiled-up Jay-Z at his house, and a viral photo of Diddy in French Montana spooning in Miami. Of course, 50 reposted that photo, writing, "What in the world is going on in this picture?" Another rumored name in 50's doc is The Game. He once said Diddy wanted to sign him, but for 2 years they just partied. They traveled, Diddy gave him expensive gifts, but they barely made music. In another interview, Game said all they did was hang out in Atlanta and at Diddy's restaurant. He said it looked like Diddy wanted to sign him, but it never happened. Other possible names in the doc include Stevie J, who was named in a lawsuit, by producer Lil Rod. Lil Rod claimed Diddy bragged about sleeping with Stevie. Stevie later defended Diddy and got emotional while doing it. Machine Gun Kelly, who was signed to Bad Boy, also hinted that he saw strange things, but he didn't say much. DJ Khaled and Rick Ross might also be exposed. Lastly, Diddy's former employee Jonathan Odd told police Diddy hired him for those freak-off parties. He said things got worse after he caught an STD.